Zombie apocalypse.
Oxygen is vital to human beings. We breathe in oxygen, which helps produce approximately 90% of the body's energy. The oxygen we inhale is used in the metabolic process to generate energy, and a reactive oxygen species, a group of highly oxidative reactive molecules, are produced in the process. Pollution, chemicals, radiation, cigarette smoke, and stress can aggravate the generation of ROS. And elevated levels of ROS causes increased oxidation, resulting in damage to the cell membrane, DNA or cellular structure, or disruption to cellular function. The human body removes some of the ROS generated with antioxidant enzymes. However, when the body's natural defense system against ROS is overwhelmed, oxidative stress develops as a result of an imbalance between ROS generation and natural defense system. A prolonged imbalance can weaken the immune system, cause various diseases, and accelerate the aging process. A diet rich in antioxidants can help protect against ROS. Hydrogen is an efficient antioxidant by gaseous rapid diffusion into tissues and cells to help reduce ROS. Drinking hydrogen-rich water is a safe and effective means of delivering molecular hydrogen to the body. Hydrogen-rich water has no color, odor, or taste, and does not change the pH level of the water, as hydrogen molecules do not form hydrogen ions when dissolved in water. Hydrogen-rich water can protect your skin against wrinkle-forming UV radiation and slow down aging. You can't stop the natural process of oxidation, which is occurring within every cell in your body as we speak. Nonetheless, you can protect your body from various diseases and disorders by understanding the beneficial effects of hydrogen-rich water as antioxidant to remove ROS in the body.
To the molecular hydrogen revolution. We're here once again with Dr. Ellen Thomas. Welcome, Dr. Ellen.
Thanks, mate.
And today we're going to be talking about molecular hydrogen and its uses in insulin resistance. So, Dr. Ellen, why don't you tell us a little bit about insulin resistance and why it's such an issue?
Currently in Australia, 2 million people are suffering with what we would call a pre-diabetic state, and some people call that syndrome X or metabolic syndrome or impaired glucose tolerance.
So 2 million in Australia?
2 million. 2 million people. That's just Australia.
That's crazy.
So what we know is that that is the stepping stone to developing full-blown type 2 diabetes. And we know that about 1 in 3 of those people that have impaired glucose tolerance will develop diabetes in their lifetime.
Yes.
So the problem with a pre-diabetic or diabetic state is the fact that your insulin doesn't work very well. So insulin is a hormone that helps blood sugar enter the cell. So what happens is, as your insulin stops working very well, the blood sugar can't get from the bloodstream actually into the cell and stays irritating the body. So when blood sugar is very high, it actually causes an inflammatory, irritating condition. And that causes damage to the walls of the blood vessels, and that can increase your risk of having a heart attack or a stroke in the future. And that inflammatory process and oxidative stress load can actually cause damage to all your other tissues. It can damage your nerves, it can damage your proteins. So it's a big problem, and it's a big problem for people's health long term. What we've found with molecular hydrogen is that it can help this process on many different levels. So one of the main triggering problems with developing that pre-diabetic state or developing diabetes is that the mitochondria have become damaged prior to the disease occurring. So mitochondria is a cell inside the cell that actually creates energy and actually changes the way we burn sugar and the way we burn fat. So what happens is when the mitochondria becomes damaged, that causes inflammation, and that changes the fatty buildup in our cells, and that actually changes the way we use insulin and stops insulin from working well. So what we find with molecular hydrogen is not only are we getting an improvement in the way our mitochondria work, we also have an improvement in the damage and the way that damage is mopped up. So when the blood sugar is damaging the cells, it can actually be mopped up and improved by using very potent antioxidants. So molecular hydrogen is one of the most potent antioxidants that we've found, and it can help mop up the damage that these high blood sugar levels can cause for people. So on the research, they've found that molecular hydrogen reduces markers of this oxidative stress, that it can actually improve and lower the levels of insulin, lower the levels of glucose, lower the levels of the triglyceride fats, one of the damaging fats in our bloodstream.
Yep.
And also reduce the actual damage done to the wall of the arteries.
Wow.
So as well as improving that mitochondrial function itself. So it's working both on the way diabetes and impaired glucose tolerance is formed, and the actual damage done to the body from that process.
Wow, so it's fairly complete kind of treatment
absolutely. We found with patients with type 2 diabetes specifically, when they did the trials, that the molecular hydrogen improved a level of antioxidant called the superoxide dismutase, and it also increased the production of our own adiponectin, which is becoming quite an interesting topic in looking at people that manage weight and obesity. And that adiponectin is a protein that can actually help our insulin to work better as well. So it's very exciting.
Excellent. But tell me, people with, say, type 2 diabetes, for instance, if they're on medication, can they also take molecular hydrogen alongside, or do they need to stop their medication? Look,
that's a very good question. What we find is that the molecular hydrogen certainly doesn't interfere with medication at all for diabetes.
Yes.
If people are on their oral medications, they're able to just continue them at their normal level suggested to them by their doctor.
Right.
We always suggest that people keep an eye on their blood sugar levels anyway. If people are on insulin, what you might find with the molecular hydrogen is that their blood sugar levels may well improve, so then they may need to adjust their doses of insulin. So it's really just a matter of monitoring things very closely, and really just looking at the insulin levels that would be required. The other very exciting thing they found is that the cholesterol profiles in people with impaired glucose tolerance and diabetes improved with molecular hydrogen.
Fantastic.
So they've shown that there was a reduction in the LDLs, the actual damaging oxidised cholesterol, the one that we think is the most harmful in damaging the walls of the arteries.
The bad cholesterol.
The bad
which
cholesterol.
We shouldn't say, but
there's good and bad.
Yes.
With people with impaired glucose tolerance, the good cholesterol levels were elevated, the HDLs.
Yes.
So with patients with fatty liver disease, which is common in people with pre-diabetics and the impaired glucose tolerance, because the triglyceride fats build up in the liver, they found that in rats that were bred to have this type 2 diabetes, a hormone called the fibroblast growth factor actually increased and helped reduce the fatty liver disease.
Fantastic.
So that certainly is a very exciting potential benefit for humans.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Stacy. I'm here to tell you about the hydrogen-enriched water. I've been drinking it now for 7 days straight, and I have had amazing results. I have neuropathy. I've been diagnosed with diabetes for many years now, and I've had neuropathy, which is pain and numbness of my feet for the last 10 years. Every single day I've suffered with pain. Since I've been drinking this little jewel right here, I have felt my toes. The pain is almost gone, if not gone. I can walk and run and do all kinds of things without having to have any major medications. I've been in the medical field now for 25 years or plus, and this is a great alternative to toxins that are going into your body. My blood pressure has run anywhere from 140 over 90 to 100 to now it's about 117 over 75, which is unheard of for me. My bottom number is always high, but this is helping it. My blood sugars have been running between 140 and 160 during the day after I eat. Now they're at 120 to 124, which is amazing. I'm hoping to be able to weed out my medications in the future. This is going to be a wonderful drink for you, and I implore for you to buy it and get it today. Thank you.